Welcome back to another episode of Relax and Take Notes. I'm K Dub. I got the big homie Mike Pace here with me. What's good, Mike?
What up, man? Just chilling, man. Quarantining. You know what I'm saying? Chilling, man. Ready for this to be over. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? However long it is, my ass gonna be in the house. That's just what it is, man. Just chilling, man. And praying for everybody who affected. You know what I mean? Like sick, because we all affected. But I mean, they actually got it, or like people with family members, man. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's rough. You know what I'm saying? For them. You know what I'm saying? I was telling Sharon yesterday, like, I was like, man, it sucked. Then I caught myself, I say, man, I'm tripping. Like, I'm alive, you know what I'm saying? I ain't struggling, I ain't suffering. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just was like, people actually like in the hospital, people dying, you know what I mean? People got different, way more issues than just having to sit in the house. You feel me? So I had to check myself a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
For sure, man. That's definitely the best way to look at it, because there's some people out there struggling, man. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Especially like with the news with car accident towns. His
Yeah.
mom passing and all that.
Yeah. And actually, one of Sharon's coworkers, mom passed from it down in Florida, I think she said. So, you know what I'm saying?
It's tough. And that's why these people need to take it serious, man. All this people still partying and all of that, man. I mean, you may not get sick from it, but you might give it to one of your loved ones. You know what I mean? I even hear people saying, "Oh, the only people that get sick is old people." And yeah, but you want your grandma or your grandpa to pass? Anybody.
Dog.
That's a selfish statement to even make, man. You know what I'm saying?
And it ain't even totally accurate. You know what I mean? Like I get, like they probably got a greater chance with, they probably got a greater chance of being affected by anything. But it's just, like you say, that's a selfish statement to make, man. And you know how it go though. Just like with a lot of stuff, it don't hit you until it's in yo. You know what I'm saying? But that it ain't nothing to play with, dog.
Yeah. But yeah, man. With that being said, let's move on to some positive things, man. Let's move on to these sports, man. What we love to do. I mean, I know we hurting right now because we ain't really got it, So I done went to the end of YouTube, watching highlights and old games. You know what I'm saying? I was just in here watching Jerry West highlights a while ago, so I'm struggling.
Listen, if I watch that Georgia and Baylor football game one more time, I might be able to get on the staff because I could break down every play on that. Man. I might be able to do something. Man, I'm telling you, I don't watch that game so many times. I watched the SEC championship with Bama and Georgia. I watched the national championship with Bama. I watched the Lakers and Golden State with Kobe and Jameson hit 50. I watched that about 3-4 times. Got hyped, seen Vontigo Cummings, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm hyped, like, explaining to Marcel all about, you know what I'm saying, how that go. Yeah. Man, I'm talking about, I don't watch. I mean, I got hyped watching a lot of the older stuff, but it's like you say, it's like, man, But
I feel you. I already know what you mean. I don't watch Tua throw every pass he ever threw in Bama history, and I done watched Derrick Henry with every carry he ever had at Alabama, and Julio Jones with every catch he ever had. You know what I mean? I've been, like I said, I done went to the end of YouTube, man. But we ain't really had much to talk about, so we came up with some things that we have been wanting to talk about for a long time anyway. Right? Like the most underrated players in NBA history. And then we'll talk about some matchups, like some of the greatest matchups of all time against, similar players. Like a Barkley versus Malone, Tim Duncan versus KG, Ray Allen versus Reggie, so forth and so on. But let's start with the most underrated players. I came up with basically a starting five. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I ain't trying to put no team together to win no championship. I'm just saying from a position standpoint, who I think arguably the most underrated players of all time.
Right.
So I'll start with point guard. To me, the most underrated point guard in NBA history is Penny Hardaway. Now I know people my age, your age, you know, a little older, maybe a little younger, they remember what he was. But I feel like the world has forgotten what he was coming out of Memphis State. Not Memphis, but Memphis State.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I forget, like, the world forgot what he was, you know what I'm saying, at that time. You know, everybody, like, now some people don't even remember him from the Magic. They remember him when he was in Phoenix.
Phoenix, right.
You know what I'm saying? But we forget how big this dude was, man. He had the little penny doll. He had commercials with Tyra Banks and all this and that. And, you know, it was a struggle between, is it Shaq's team or is it Penny Hardaway's team? And it seemed like everybody forgot it.
Mm-hmm.
And as dominant as he was, I feel like he's underrated because people forget about his dominance, being as big as, what was he, 6'8" or so?
6'7", 6'8".
6'7", 6'8", playing point. And I mean, like, I remember Kenneth Smith talking about it one time. It's not, you remember how Magic Johnson, when Magic Johnson came down the court, he had his back turned, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Dribbling, you know, direct with his back turned. Penny came up, facing up, you know what I'm saying? Dribbling,
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he had handles like that at 6'7", 6'8". It was no point guard that could really hold him because he put you in the post and just do whatever. Then he could take you off the dribble. You know what I mean? So, to me, Penny Hardaway is the most underrated point guard in NBA history.
That's, at first, you know, I was like, where you gonna go with it? But that you make some valid points, man, because even in terms of, like you saying, off the court, as far as like how big he was, think about this. To get, even now, to get a signature shoe, it's a huge statement. So you think about, he came in the league in what, 94, 93, 94, whatever it was.
I think it was 93 because he was traded for Chris Webber, right?
Right. And by 98, he had 4 or 5 pair of Nikes.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, Nikes that are retro to this day.
Right.
You know, and then you think about the success he had early, going to the NBA Finals in his second or third season in the NBA. So I agree, you know, with you along those lines, because like you said, a lot of people don't know that Orlando Magic, Penny Hardaway, and then the burden he carried once Shaq left too, was huge. You know what I mean? Because you think about who was over there. You had Iverson in the East. You had Ray Allen over there. You know what I mean? It was Grant Hill. It was crazy. So you had a lot of great players over there, and that's when he kicked it up as far as scoring. You start seeing him score more during that time. But that's a good one. I was thinking, you threw me off. I was thinking, you know, more along the lines of like the Rod Strickland types, Terrell Brandon, them type of guys. And that's just because, you know what I mean, like, because we go deep with it, like, for the love of basketball.
Right.
But for the points that you made, that's pretty spot on, though. I mean, when you say it the way you said, because when you think, like you said, the first thing come to your mind, you're gonna go Magic and Kid and Zeke and you know, even now with the Chris Paul and Steph, and they had their story not finished, you know, but like, you know, you got the guys that obviously they career path had up with Kyrie and them guys like that. But that's a good one. Because like you said, if we're looking through our lens, of course, he great. You know what I mean? But yeah, he don't get enough because his impact was huge too. Because really, the only other big point guard was Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
But then when he came, you know what I mean. Steve Smith started out at the point, you know what I mean. But yeah, nah, that's a good one.
See, when I first started thinking about this, I was thinking along the lines of, also Terrell Brown and Rod Strickland, Kevin Johnson, them dudes too.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to thinking, let's think about the dudes that was dominant, that was forgotten about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, not just like dudes who were good, you know what I'm saying, and then we forgot about them, but the dudes that was like a serious problem who led their teams, and nobody even talk about them right now. So at the 2 guard, I got T-Mac, because nobody, when you think of the best shooting guards of all time, everybody say Jordan, Kobe, D-Wade. You know what I'm saying? T-Mac can hold his own against any of them. I don't care who guarding T-Mac. If he hot that night, he getting 40. Period. No matter who guarding him. You know what I'm saying? Now he's not a winner, so that's part of the reason why he don't get put into that category.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the younger generation don't know what T-Mac was either. You know what I'm saying? Like that Orlando T-Mac.
Even the Houston one.
Yeah.
But and I'm gonna rewind a little bit back to the point guard when we talk about when you was talking about, like, the guys that was dominant and underrated. And see, it's a lot of them though. But yeah. I think he would probably be the biggest one. But I would say I would throw Gilbert Arenas and Stephon Marbury in there with that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely Gil. Gil.
But I would definitely throw both of them. Like with Stephon Marbury, like, people really forget how good this dude was. Good.
Yeah.
Like, he was really good. Like, and the issues that happened, whatever, was unfortunate. A lot of stuff went on for him personally, but he was still very, very good when his NBA career, came to an end. But I would throw those two in there. I just thought about them real quick. But as far as with T-Mac, definitely, because like you said, that's funny. Nobody automatically goes to the mindset of he one of the best 2 guards all time. It's always Mike, Cole, Wade, and obviously. But I mean, not saying that you out of your mind if you think that. Yeah. Just saying, how come he's not thrown in no more? I hear and because I hear almost every time I watch like an interview with like KD, he always talk about him though. Like, he always talk about,
because they got a similar game. They got a similar game.
Yeah. I think T-Mac was more athletic, but I think, like you said, that game was super comparable. But he always talk about, like, watching him a lot. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, his name should definitely be like right there. Like you said, he didn't win. But I don't know if we can always, like, make that the bar. You know what I mean?
I never do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we get caught up in the yada, yada, yada. Just like when me and you was talking about Dan Marino. And I was like, oh, nah. I was like, I don't care what nobody say. You know what I'm saying? To me, he one of the best to ever do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people gonna always go to Joe, and of course now Tom Brady and Peyton and them guys. But man, like, in Elway, but they always, of course, because of that. But man, Dan, talent-wise, he'll take a backseat to anybody. But that's the same thing like with T-Mac. If T-Mac knees didn't fail him, I think the landscape of the West would have been a lot different. You know what I mean? His place in NBA history would have been a whole lot different for sure. You know what I mean? So, I agree with you. Like, because his name not said enough by the youngsters. It's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he used to get big.
He averaged 32 a game in one season.
Yeah.
32 a game. That's sick, man.
That's crazy. Because I actually was watching something today. I saw a game he was playing against Gilbert Arenas. And I think he had like 60 something, and Gil had like 40 something, 41, and T-Mac had like 60 something. And at that size, being able to raise up and shoot, post up, explosive, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay, so you going with who? Gil at the point, maybe? If you had to pick one.
I think I would go with Gil. Because these young boys don't know nothing about Gil.
Boy. That was James Harden and Steph before James Harden and Steph.
Yeah. He was, I'm going to tell you who he remind me of a lot. He remind me of Dame. He remind me of a stronger Dame, though. Like, you know what I mean? A little bigger Dame. Because the way he attacked the basket, you know what I mean? And then just the jump shot was just like, I mean, so Dame remind me of Gil. But
Gil was the first one to start shooting from deep. Like people, like they say Steph Curry range, but really that's Gilbert Arenas range. And I heard him talk about it. And they was like, why did you start shooting from that deep? Well, he was like, I started looking at the numbers. He's like, I started looking at the statistics from, that distance. And he was like, my numbers from that deep range was better than my numbers from actual, regular 3-point range. And he was like, from that distance, nobody's guarding me anyway. He was like, so I just started pulling. Right. You know what I mean? Which makes sense. But who you going with at the two?
I would go with T-Mac, but I got one. I got the guy, he wasn't as dominant, but I still think his name is not brought up enough. Is Allen Houston, man. I think people really don't understand how good a player he was. Like, if that Detroit thing would have been able to, like, maturate correctly, they would have been a problem.
See, that's why I like these conversations.
Yeah, I mean, you think about that Detroit situation, man. Him, Grant Hill, Lindsey Hunter. I don't remember the bigs right off, but
I don't think they really had no good bigs. I think they had like Don Reed and people like that.
Yeah. It wasn't like, but wait, imagine him and Grant like full health.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy. And then Lindsey Hunter at the point, like, that would have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't work out. But I don't think he was as good as player T-Mac. That ain't what I'm saying. But I just think that, like, people don't know, like, a lot of these cats, like, and how good of basketball players these cats. Like, I remember watching Allen Houston at Tennessee, because he was at Tennessee actually when T-Mac was at Memphis State. And man, like,
Penny was at Memphis State.
Penny. And I remember, like, man, his shot was just so pure. And like, he could hit it off the bounce, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know how I feel about them beautiful jumpers.
Yeah, man. I remember, like, he would just fill it up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember just being super excited when he got to the league. And then it was like, you know what I mean? Grant, everything came. I'm like, oh, they about to be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't know if it's just a different time, which it seemed like to me, because of the internet, these guys would be able to find out more about these guys. But I don't know how. But then, like I said too, his name's just not mentioned a lot. But I would definitely go with T-Mac at that spot. But Allen Houston, man, he was good, man.
Well, I think the reason why a lot of younger people don't, I mean, you like you said, we got the internet, and you would think they would look at it. I think they don't have a respect for players in the 80s and 90s because they like, oh, them dudes old and we would kill them now. But the 80s and 90s was not the 50s and 60s. Like, they got to realize these dudes had some athleticism, man. Like,
yeah,
you had dudes back then with 50-inch verticals, like Michael Wilson and, you know, Melvin Levitt. And these dudes had hops, man. Like,
Dominique.
Right. I mean, and they look at it from like, oh man, look at the dunk contest, look at the dunks. That's just because they're more creative, because they had to be, because everything had been done. You know what I mean? But them dudes like MJ, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, even to that point, as far as dunking goes, like J.R. Ryder was like ridiculous. I remember when I first saw him do the East Bay Phone. He was at UNLV.
Yep.
I'm like,
I saw it at the college slam dunk contest. That was the first time I ever saw that.
That was the first time he was at the college, but he took like one step, bro.
Yeah,
like he was.
I watched him on a podcast. He said he'd been doing that dunk since he was 15.
It looked like it.
Yeah, because it was so easy.
But he was. But like him, cats like when we talk about dunking, like Harold Miner, like if you could move them into like now where all the creativity is, wow. Like Jason Richardson used to be crazy with it. You know what I'm saying?
I think Jason Richardson.
There was a lot of guys.
Jason Richardson was the first dude I ever seen go between the legs off too.
Well, when he did that one where he caught it and put it like under his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
like, no, Vince was the first one I've seen do
that. That one when Richardson did that was crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, I agree with that. They think like cause you know what I mean? They're like, oh, they old, they was slow, they was this, they was that.
Nah, they was far from slow.
Yeah, you know, and I think that, like you said, they just put it all in a bubble. Like, yeah, that's the past. Which, you know, some of them guys probably definitely wouldn't have been able to keep up now, but a lot of those guys would definitely hold their own. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them would kill even more today than they did back then. But hey, it's a different game with different rules. That's another thing they have to understand. You know, like a guy like, I mean, we're kind of getting off topic, but we got time. But a dude like MJ, when MJ went to the paint back in the day, they weren't running no 5 out. You know what I'm saying? Like back then, most of the time you had 2 bigs on the block. So when you get to the paint, you got trees everywhere. You know what I mean? And he was still able to finish in traffic.
Well, even if you think about, and it's fresh on my mind because I was watching it, think about when Wade and LeBron first came to the league. That's the reason why they posterized a lot of guys, because they had to go so hard because it wasn't as spread out. You know what I mean? Like, and Wade was going to attack.
And that's my reasoning when I tell people, why do you think LeBron looks better in like year 17 or looks just as good in like year 17 and he did in like year 6? Like, the reason is because the game changed. You know what I mean? He got more space to work with now. Yeah. You know, I mean, I get it. He is a freak of nature, but it's a different game now. He playing against these cats that they play a different game. Now he kind of playing against boys rather than playing against men back then.
Yeah.
You know, man, ain't no Ben Wallace's right now.
That's a good. Ain't no shot blockers really like that. Like when you had a plethora of them at one time, you know what I mean? Even guys that per se wasn't like superstars, like a Ben Wallace or Marcus Camby, guys that was, you know what I mean, just going. And you even had guys that was not necessarily even a center, like Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin could defend anywhere. You know what I mean?
Basically 1 through 5.
Yeah. So, you know, and another guy, my bad, I'm gonna throw back on that point guard. And it might sound crazy, but Derrick Rose.
I thought about that too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Prime
But
D Rose.
yeah. But yeah.
But moving on to the small forwards, I was so torn on this one. Two names came to my mind like instantly, and I was so torn. I'm just gonna say both of them. For one, Bernard King.
Okay.
And for two, Dominique Wilkins. I was so torn between the two. I'm just gonna put both of them up there. But Bernard King to me, man, this dude, I don't think people realize how good this dude was, man. Like Bernard King was
bucket.
a bucket, man. This dude averaged 33 points a game in one season, bro. 33 points a game.
Wait. Didn't he average like 30 after he tore his ACL?
After he tore his ACL. He was actually the first player to ever come back from an ACL injury.
From an ACL, right.
Yeah, and I'm talking about shooting 55, 56% from the field. I ain't talking about no 40% from the field. I'm talking about that man get that ball on that block. That turnaround jumper was I've always called Melo Bernard King. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
I've never seen nobody with a turnaround jumper like Bernard King because he was so big and his shot was so quick that when he turned around, it was over. This is the matter: is he gonna make it or is he gonna miss
it? And then he had long arms.
Right.
But Q put it in the song.
Man.
Hit you with the boom, bow, beat, baseline fade away like Bernard King.
And then, like the young Bernard King, get out on that break.
Oh, yeah.
When he take off on one leg, I'm telling you, it's like LeBron. Like, if people go back and watch Bernard King highlights, man, I'm telling you, man, this dude was like before his time, bro.
He was like that, bro. He was going to get – I'm talking about – and think about how long that Christmas Day, like the record for points on Christmas, stood.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this cat wasn't playing in 1998.
Right.
He still got like one of the top three, ain't it? Like I think Jordan, him, and yeah.
I don't remember about on Christmas Day, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm telling you, Bernard King was a problem, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. 6'9", right? 6'8", 6'9", whatever.
I'm telling you, that dude was a beast. And then of course Neek. Neek don't get no love. I don't know why. Because he ain't win, I guess. But
you know how I feel about Neek.
I mean, everybody know him for dunking, but Nick used to get buckets, man. Like he used to get buckets.
So what's funny about that, right? Marcel told me last week, because we was watching something, I don't know, and so it was some dunk stuff. They showed him dunking. And he said, man, I ain't realized he was a scorer until I watched that SEC story on him. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, he used to get busy. Like, after he tore his Achilles, and then they had traded him to the Clippers, and they came back to Atlanta, he dropped 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped 50.
Yeah. This man he averaged 30 points a game like 4 times.
Right.
Like, that is not,
he averaged
that's not easy.
25 after he tore that Achilles.
Yeah.
And he was over 30 years old.
Yeah. Even when he was playing with San Antonio and he got fat, he was still getting buckets.
Boston, when he was in Boston, he was still getting buckets.
Still getting buckets. Like, let me see. His last season, he averaged 17. He averaged 18 a game his last season. And his season before that, he averaged 29.
That's crazy.
That's insane, bro.
And then still went overseas and who?
Still went over there and killed. That's crazy. Yeah, with the Clippers, he averaged 29 that season. Even
after the Achilles injury.
After that. Like, that's, man, I'm telling you. So Neek definitely, I couldn't leave him off the list.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Because
but both of them, I think both of that's equal, like across the board. Like cats he don't get no love. And Bernard King, like folks don't, like when they talk prolific scores, they go, Mike Cole, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Stuff like that. But boy, that boy Bernard King was a problem. Like you saying, Dominique too. And then Dominique used to rebound the ball.
Right. So who would be your 3? Your own personal 3? as far as like
That's
the
tough,
small forward
man.
position.
That's tough because both of them was like that, man. That's a tough one. And then, you know what I'm saying? I love Dominique, but I just can't sit here and act like Bernard King just, you know what I'm saying? Because
I didn't even like I didn't get to see Bernard King on the Knicks. When I was little, growing up watching him, he was with the Bullets.
Right,
I actually remember him with the Bullets. You know what I mean? But then
with the Knicks or the Nets, he played for Jersey too.
Right. But when I got older, you know, of course, I always have looked at like old basketball games and all that. You know how that go when we was little growing up. You know, looking at all that stuff.
Right.
You know, all them shows used to come on about old NBA, old NFL. I always, you know, I saw Bernard King. They talked about him, but yo, man, that dude was a problem.
Yeah, I'ma just. We're gonna go Bernard Wilkins.
That'll work. That's basically what I did anyway. I couldn't make a decision, so I just went with both of them.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Let's move on to the power forward, man. The most underrated power forward in NBA history, Moses Malone. Now I know some might call him a center. I call him power forward. You know what I'm saying? I think he's the most.
Because Darryl Dawkins
plays.
Didn't Darryl Dawkins play center? Yeah.
When it was in Philly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I call Moses Malone the most underrated power forward of all time. Like I'm talking about like 28 and 12, 31 and 14. You know what I mean? Like this man averaged, he averaged over 14 rebounds a game like 5 or 6 times.
But the dominance, like dominant, just a force.
18 and 14 out of high school his rookie year. Straight out of high school, he averaged.
Straight out of high school.
He was the first guy to ever come out of high school, but 18 points and 14 rebounds a game as a rookie coming straight out of high school.
Out of high school.
That's crazy.
Cats don't even do that as a freshman in college. You're 18 and 14. They don't even do that out of college. You know what I mean? So that ain't even, I don't even think we need to even go in depth. That's like, for real. Because like, we automatically gonna go to TD and KG and Malone and you know what I'm saying? And then we start fishing. Dog, you know what I'm saying?
This man, he had a season where he had 31 and 15. I mean, that's insane. Like,
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? And then because like you said, we always talk about Tim Duncan and KG, and we're gonna do that later too. But man, you forget about dudes like that. Like,
yeah.
And even like dudes like
Charles.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, and Charles and on that list too, and he like was his OG. You know what I'm saying? Like that's who, you know what I'm saying, ushered him in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But
for sure.
Yeah, Moses Malone is my most underrated power forward of all time. Just with them crazy numbers, man. Like, I mean, there was other dudes, so like, you know, Elvin Hayes and, you know, dudes like that, but I don't really know much about guys like that. You know what I mean? I know the numbers, but
I
ain't really ever studied, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm with you.
Which I done seen highlights, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna make a case too. I don't think he was as better scorer as them, but maybe all-around player. But I'm gonna make a case too. Scottie Pippen don't get the love he deserves either, as far as that 3 spot.
See, I thought about putting him on that list, but I couldn't put him over Bernard.
Nah, not over them.
And Dominique.
I just want to mention him.
Yeah, I feel. But I couldn't put him on the list because I had put those two, and I went with I did it from position. You know what I mean? And then I kind of feel like Scottie get love, but he don't get the love that he probably should get. You know what I mean? Like people know, he was Mike's sidekick and won 6 titles, but they don't know how good he was.
But and they don't know his story.
Yeah.
So I guess that's me including, you know what I mean, like encompassing everything. Like, bro,
Yeah, he got a crazy story.
You talking about getting that? You talking about getting it out the mud?
Him and Dennis Rodman. We're gonna talk about this for a little bit. Him and Dennis Rodman are 2 of the most unlikely players to ever make it to the NBA. I'm talking about graduating high school at what was he, like 6'3" when he graduated or something like that?
Right. And Rodman was like 5'9".
Rodman was 5'9". He grew to 6'1" when he graduated. I was looking at this the other day, and then grew to 6'8" when he was 20 years old. And he started playing at like a rec or something.
He would put him to play basketball.
Yeah. That's crazy. He graduated high school at like 5'9".
But think about what you said, the most unlikely to make it in the NBA, and them dudes in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
With titles. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, maybe that's me encompassing Scottie whole path. And, like, you got it, like, he was an all-star MVP in that time. Like, when all those big dogs was there, he was an all-star MVP. So it's like he stood out amongst the elite. And that first time Mike retired, he took that team to a Game 7 against the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and really, if not for a bad call, probably, you know what I mean, would have moved on. So,
and then,
people
don't really realize that dude was an equipment manager in college. He wasn't even on the team. He was like the equipment manager, and then he started growing and working on his game. Next thing you know, this man is first-round draft pick.
Insane. 6 titles, though. And the other thing is, too, people don't realize, like, because of Mike, like Scottie hit a lot of big shots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people don't understand. Like, this dude, always, when I'm, like, teaching, you know what I'm saying, kids about, like, using the glass, I always refer to him and Tim Duncan. Like, because them dudes, to me, was, like, the best at just, like, getting that angle and boom, you know what I'm saying? Like Scottie in that mid post, he was gonna kill you off that boom. He gonna, you know what I'm saying, out the glass. But you know what I'm saying? I just thought about that, man. And you know what I'm saying? Scottie don't, and a lot of people be like, you know, Mike made Scottie or whatever they want to say. But man, to come from that, you know what I'm saying? Like to become what he was, the defender. The dude was called upon to guard the tough assignments. Then he ran the point. Then he could shoot. He was a better three-point shooter than Mike. You know what I'm saying? He was incredible. The dude got an Olympic gold medal. Like, he was a problem. He was a problem. But like you said, you know, when you in that situation, and I think for him, maybe at times it might have been like, oh, I wish I could get. But when you look at it, it's probably to him like, I know my worth. Mike know my worth. The people that matter know my worth. And so you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, Scottie was like that.
Yeah, he was a beast. But let's move on to centers, man. My most underrated center of all time is a well-known dude, but I feel like he don't get put in that upper echelon. Ben Wallace. Now I thought about going with Ralph Sampson. I ain't gonna lie, because
I thought that's where you was going.
Ralph Sampson.
I thought that's where you was going.
So dominant, but he only played for like a short period of time before he had some injuries.
Yeah.
And I thought about going with him, but I'm gonna go with Ben simply because of how well he did against dudes so much bigger than him. Like watching him play against Shaq, I've never really seen anybody defend Shaq the way Ben Wallace did. Like Ben Wallace was not intimidated at all. I've never really seen anybody like block Shaq jump hook the way Ben Wallace did. Like he straight up dominated that man. in certain situations.
And now his path was crazy too.
Mm-hmm. Played at Virginia
You
Union.
know, yeah, and dealt with a lot of rejection and different things like that, getting cut, different things. Because people don't realize that famous Kobe Duncan preseason. Yeah, that was Ben Wallace. Yeah, that was Ben Wallace. But I could definitely, because his impact on that Detroit Pistons team was absolutely so huge.
Playing
so
center at 6'8", 6'9",
6'8",
and just completely dominating. I'm talking about leading the league in blocks, being defensive player of the year, getting 13, 14 rebounds a game.
That's what I was gonna say. Averaging double-digit rebounds.
Yeah, and became a decent scorer. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You could on pick and roll. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. He could get busy. You ain't finna just every play come down. Give it to Ben and let him go to work. But every now and then, you know what I'm saying, throw it to him. He'll get him a little running hook in there.
Right. You know what though? And I ain't saying that like to the level of these other guys. We could take that whole starting five and put them as the most underrated. Chauncey Bill.
I thought about Chauncey too.
You could really take that whole five because, like your unlikely statement, that's probably the most. If you put all the champs up there, that's probably to be like
most unlikely championship team.
Then who did they beat?
They beat the Lakers with Karl Malone and Gary Payton.
You're gonna be like, okay, so they was champs first of all. Then you be like, and they beat who? And literally should have swept them. Kobe said today with that 3 to send the OT for that only win. Them boys beat them boys 4-1.
Yeah. And had a chance to beat San Antonio too.
Should have beat them.
Beat San Antonio.
What I mean? That team, man, you talk about grit. Chauncey, well, I mean, and then Rip, and then Tayshaun, and then, of course, she, and Ben, and then Will Bynum was on that next team, the one that lost to.
Yeah. Who else they had? Corliss Williamson? Did they have Corliss Williamson?
I think he was on that one. Rodney Stuckey wasn't there yet.
Rodney Stuckey went on the team, I don't think. Man, I forgot about that name. That's crazy. Was Lindsey Hunter on that team?
No, by that time I think Lindsey had gone on to.
So who they had off the bench coming? I gotta look that up.
Now. That's why I was trying to remember who was on that bench. Or Lindsey Hunter might have been. I can't remember who was on the bench, but that 5 was just like I said. You could probably take because Chauncey not nowhere near appreciated as he should be. And neither is Rip Hamilton. Rip Hamilton ain't nowhere near appreciated as he should be.
Right. Okay, so Corliss Williamson was on that team.
Right. Was John Barry wasn't on there no more?
I don't think John Barry was on that team.
Because I remember I used to play with them on the game, and but that was he wasn't on the one that won it. I don't think John Barry was on the one that won.
All right, so look, check this out. They had Corliss Williamson.
Right.
Actually, Bobby Silver was on that team. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah. Lindsey Hunter was on that team.
Lindsey Hunter, okay.
Chucky Atkins, Eldon Campbell.
Eldon Campbell was on that squad?
Darvin Ham. That's crazy.
Bruh, the more you say, the more that it make it like they won a ship against that squad.
Yeah, and they had Mehmet Okur too.
And think about who they beat though on the road to get there. Yeah, that's the other thing. They knocked off some. The Indiana team got jacked up because of the fight. Mm-hmm. That was actually, I think Indiana probably would have went. But who knows? I ain't taking nothing from Detroit.
Yeah, Mike James too.
Mike James. Sure was. Yep, Mike James was on that team.
That was a straight little team. Yeah, I forgot about Mehmet Okur. That dude used to hoop.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you could look at that team and be like, yo, like, and tell me, like, any young guy that's gonna be like, yo, I watched Chauncey Billups, and I'll be like, you should.
Yeah. Chauncey one of the most skilled players in NBA history.
Man, that dude, I followed Chauncey ever since his senior year in high school.
Yeah, me too.
Like, after that, I followed, like, his whole career, like Colorado, the whole why I can't Chauncey stay on, the Boston, Toronto, Minnesota, all those Denver, and all. Yeah. And then,
and it finally turned around. You remember he was almost out the league, bro, and it finally turned around in Minnesota when he got with KG. That's when he really started hooping.
So you say, Ben, I'm trying to think of something that I'm trying to think, because Ralph, like you said, that's why I thought you was going, but I get it, you know what I'm saying, with the injuries. I could make a case for this guy. It's going to sound crazy, but I could say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar doesn't get the respect that he deserves.
I can see that. I can see that because people don't understand how good he was. Like, people always talk about Wilt, because he put up all them numbers. But as soon as Kareem came in the league, you know what I'm saying, Wilt kind of came back down to earth because now he has somebody that's on his level.
And my man won every year in college and couldn't even play his freshman year.
That's crazy.
Couldn't even play his freshman year.
That's crazy, man.
Like, I don't think he get the respect.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and then when he retired and he been number one in points, forever. It's just now in jeopardy.
So he stopped playing late 80s? When did he stop playing?
Yeah, because he wasn't on that Lakers team that beat they won it with Magic the first year, right? Magic's rookie year.
Which was 79, 80?
80, yeah, 79, 80. 79, 80. So they won it, they won it in 80. And then I think he won the one more. But he wasn't on the one because they beat Philly that first time, right?
Let me look it up.
It was Philly the first one, when Magic had the triple-double. I want to say that was Philly. And then they beat Boston, Detroit.
So he retired in 89. Which sounds about right, yeah. And people don't realize he wasn't even, like, by that time, he was old. He wasn't even really, like, no good no more. He could still get that sky hook off whenever he wanted. But
I'm talking about killing, So, yeah, I just think that you're talking about 38,000 points.
Yeah, in his third season in the NBA, he averaged 35 and 16.
That's crazy. Come on, dog.
That's crazy. But yeah, Kareem is definitely underrated because people don't really give him the respect that he deserves. You know what I mean? Well, I guess I'm building this list off of this generation and what they, how they perceive it.
Nah, it's everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's all relevant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all relevant.
Because that's not even my generation, but I still respect, certain players that played before my generation. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Anything starting in the 70s on up to now, I got a lot of respect. Not saying the guys in the 60s wasn't, no good, but it's a totally different game. The athleticism wasn't there at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anything kind of really like pre-Dr. J is almost like they wouldn't be able to compete in today's game.
Like, I can't even imagine like Russell Westbrook.
Oh my God! Imagine Elgin Baylor trying to guard Russell Westbrook.
Bro, like, man. or like LeBron James, like LeBron James or any of like, okay, so now, okay, Will Chamberlain, you got to guard Kevin Durant, like on the perimeter,
man,
right? Or Giannis. Like, you know
Chuck Taylors will be laying on the floor, bro.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Because think about like the point guards. There's like a prime Derrick Rose. Like I'm out of here.
Yeah, because
you know
like we was talking about it the other day. Like the first guys to really that was able to break down the defense and get to the basket, like all the way to the basket. To me, was like Isaiah Thomas, Kevin Johnson, Rod Strickland. Before that, you ain't having no point guards really, just breaking down the defense and getting all the way to the basket. Like they would hit a couple dribble moves. I ain't even call them dribble moves. 2 dribble pull-ups. Yeah, hand right on top of the basketball. Little stutter step. Pull up. But before that, they wouldn't really even let you get all the way to the basket because they was going to foul you up. And they allowed a lot more contact back then.
That's why I disagree with like when they was talking about Steph like in the physical part, but like I mean his jumper's so wet, bro. Like I ain't gotta go down there.
Bro, I don't care.
I'm gonna get separation. He gonna get separation every time anyway. So he getting that shot off. He gonna fire you up.
There's nothing you can do about Steph Curry. You can do a good job, but if Steph Curry want buckets, he gonna get buckets, bro.
He gonna score, man.
Like no matter what era he playing in.
Yeah, and like we did once before. We talked about some guys. It don't matter. Yeah. Like if you take Anthony Davis and put him in wherever, he gonna be effective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter. Like he gonna be effective. Of course, LeBron and Kobe, and then vice versa. If you take Mike and put him here, if you take certain guys and put them in, it don't matter, man. Like they gonna do what they do. And then you take some guys, they might fare better. Like I think if you put like Boogie Cousins in that era, he gonna thrive. Cause you know what I'm saying? I think the way the game played now might even hurt his game. Versus if he was the man, you want him to get 15 post-ups, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he might average 28 and 15.
Yeah, or you put Marc Gasol, back with them guys, you know what I'm saying?
Or Joel Embiid. Because I don't think Joel Embiid want to play the way that he play right now. I think he play that way because Ben Simmons can't shoot pretty much. You know what I mean? And he has to be the one to space the floor.
I'm with you on that. I think, guys like that, with them, they're going to thrive. So I think people just kind of get stuck in, everybody can do it sometimes. Well, our era, this, just like with music. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I hate a lot of this new stuff, but at the same time, it ain't for me. They ain't talking to me.
Everybody want to protect their era. Everybody wants to protect their era.
Right.
And what I don't understand is why do we have to be so disrespectful to everybody else's era? That's what I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even like I talk about like the 50s and 60s. It's not that I'm disrespectful. It's just that in my opinion, I don't feel like the athleticism was there for them to be able to compete against anybody in any other era. So no, I'm not going to sit here and say that I feel like Elgin Baylor could play today because he couldn't. Nah. You know what I mean? Not the way that he played back then. Now, if he was able to adjust and learn how to play like these guys play, you never know. It's all hypothetical anyway. So, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's crazy how some people just feel like they got to disrespect somebody else's era, to kind of put their era on a pedestal. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it is what it is. It's different. Like, just stuff evolve, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to figure out a new way to do something. And definitely, you're going to try to do it smarter, not harder. So, spacing out the floor to give me more shot attempts a game, or you know what I'm saying? Maximizing the 3-point line, done, different stuff like
but
that.
see, what people don't realize, a lot of people not realizing today is like if you look at the field goal percentages, like these dudes, these perimeter players these days they're not really shooting like great percentages. You know what I mean? Like look at a Bernard King. Bernard King, he was shooting 53% off gate. Like
that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like center's the only ones that do that today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I think Rudy Gobert was leading the league in field goal percentage like 60%, 65%.
DeAndre Jordan was up there for a while.
You know what I'm saying? And all he was doing was catching lobs.
Yeah.
Basically, you know what I mean? But like these dudes, they were shooting 55, 60% off mid-range jumpers. Like that's what people not realize.
Right. Like Michael Jordan shot 50 for his career.
As a shooting guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's insane, bro. As a shooting guard.
Yeah. Which makes like KD field goal percentage super impressive.
Yeah. We had this conversation before. I actually think Kevin Durant is the most efficient perimeter scorer in NBA history. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that efficient from the perimeter before.
And it catch you off guard though, because you look up, and you brought it to my attention like years ago, and we was going back and forth, which is crazy because I was such a fan, and you was like, nah, bro. You was like, he a better scorer than Melo. I'm like, nah, and you like, Michael, I'm telling you. And so then when you pay attention, like you was like, Mike, this dude had 35 points on 13 shots. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, yeah, like you got a point. And then like that 50, 40, 90 shooting jumpers, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, you know.
Another guy, you mentioned 50, 40, 90 is Reggie Miller did that in the 90s. You know how hard that was in the 90s? 50, 40, 90 in the 90s. That's another underrated player. Even though I'm not that big a fan of Reggie Miller, like basically because he get on my nerves on TNT and I can't stand to listen to it. That's really the only reason. Like for his game, I ain't got nothing bad to say about Reggie Miller game. He just get on my nerves on TNT. I can't stand listening.
But I feel. Now I'm gonna tell you one thing why I loved Reggie so much, man. Reggie was gonna compete, bro. Like Reggie might not have been the fastest. He might, but man, you was gonna know you played that joker, man. He was gonna ball, bro. That dude was gonna ball, and that squad when that whole mishap happened with the brawl or whatever. I think they was good, man.
Right.
But he always just like played super hard to me. Like it might not have been the same, but he came with that energy like KG and like Russ them. Like that's what because you think about who he had to play Mike 4 times a year. And then I gotta go to the playoff. But not only am I playing Mike 4 times, I gotta play the New York Knicks 4 times a year. He gotta play the Detroit. So like and was still averaging 20 or better, like, you know what I'm saying? Reggie used to hoop. And then played the whole career, then ended. You know what I'm saying? Like, didn't waver, didn't get scared, it was just like it is what it is.
I used to love them Indiana team with the Davis boys and all of them.
Oh, yeah, Rick Smith and, man.
The Duncan Dutchman, Mark Jackson at that point. Yeah. So let's move on, man. I'm going to kind of, I want to kind of just run through this right quick because we've been going for a little minute.
Word.
We're going to talk about some head-to-head matchup. Let's start with KG and Tim Duncan. You know where I'm going. You already know where I'm going. Tim Duncan, great, whatever. But give me the big ticket all day, every day. That's my guy.
I don't know no bigger KG fans than you and my boy David Brisson from Augusta, man.
Man,
like y'all the two biggest. I'm a huge KG fan too, though. I love KG, but I'm talking like y'all the two biggest KG fans I know. But you were such a fan. I remember every single draft. You would be so hot. Like, they keep drafting. Yo, like, that's when I knew, like, all right, like, yo, this dude, like, OD KG fan.
I still remember some of them.
Yeah, you would be hot, bro. I'm talking every single year you'd be like, man, I hope they don't go draft it like it did. Like, it'll happen.
Yeah. And I got so pissed off one year. And his name is hard to remember. But I remember this name because I was so pissed off. Igor Rakosevic. They drafted Igor. This man named Igor. You drafted a dude named Igor in the first round. Talking about he's a point guard from, Uzbekistan or something. You drafted Igor Rakosevic. And then you drafted Endu Ibi.
Look. And this was around that time when, like, them boys, like, Gilbert Arenas and them boys was, like, coming into their own in the league. And you drafting these cats, you know what I mean?
Man, but, like,
yeah.
Bro, even Rashad Disturbance, like.
Yeah. When yeah. But nah. So, yeah, I knew you was going to go there. For me, really the only separation with them is probably the championships. That's really the only thing. Yeah, because as far as the game, come on, man. Like, TD gonna do what he do. He gonna consistently get rebounds, defend, get buckets. He was just about the business of the game. You know what I'm saying? Gonna leave it out. Because you know what's crazy is, like, he was so quiet. And people always, Kobe, I'm a Kobe fan. I'm a Kobe stan. So, like, but people don't give Tim that credit for being that warrior because he was so quiet. Like, but he was a dog. Like, Tim was going to come to play every night. Like, he wasn't, and you weren't going to punk him. You weren't going to do none of that. You know what I'm saying? But his approach was different. You know what I'm saying? So, and with KG, he was more in your face. He was this, but he was going to do the same. Going to be super consistent, going to defend. They both was unselfish sometimes to a fault. You know what I'm saying?
Especially KG.
It's hard for me, man, with those two because they mirror each other. When you put the stuff up, it's just the way that they went about it was different. You know what I'm saying?
To me, the only difference is Tim Duncan was a better go-to scorer, and KG was a more versatile defender. Other than that, there's really not much separation.
Yeah, it really ain't, man. I mean, because they both was gonna come to play ball, man.
They both gonna do everything.
You start putting up like the individual at the all-stars, and it's just like buck for buck, you know what I'm saying? And then the thing about it was the beauty of it is, bro, we got to watch them go at it all those years, head to head, all those years, you know what I'm saying? And go at it.
Yep.
Go at it, man, So for me, that's a tough one, man. I can't call it, bro. I really can't call it.
I mean, you ain't gonna pick one?
I'm not gonna do it. I can't, dog. I really dog. Like they the honchos, bro. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like, I love Chuck. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't no big Malone fan, but to me, TD and KG is like, you know what I'm saying? Where you put Dirk in there, not to get too far out, where you put Dirk on the power forward jump?
I'd have to really, really think about it.
Cause he had a window. He had a window where I hated him because he wasn't. But then, boy, when he went in his bag,
that one championship year put him. He started to rise. Like, at that point, I think I put him over Rasheed. I put him over
Yeah, I
C
have.
Webb, of course, because he won a championship. He over the Jermaine O'Neals and all of them. Man, it's
Wait,
tough.
see,
He might be top 5, bro. I think I can put him at that 5th spot.
and see, that's why I was debating with myself the other day because C. Webb was such a. But I'm gonna tell you, man, C. Webb used to disappoint me down the stretch. Boy.
Yeah, but man, he played against them Kobe and Shaq teams too, though. So that's tough. That's not his fault.
And
He didn't win a championship because of who he was playing.
No.
So
bump that.
Nah, it's just making me rethink now.
But two, C. Webb not only played against Kobe and Shaq, but he played against Tim Duncan, played against KG, he played against Karl Malone, he played against
and gave him all the business.
So we start like, you get what I'm saying? Like, C. Webb was a problem.
But at the end of the day,
he kept that thing that free throw line, boy. Hey,
yeah, them behind the back one hand passes.
That's what I'm saying, man. You know.
Yeah, them Sacramento teams are underrated too.
Absolutely.
Him and Pager and Divock, Thug Christie.
Divock, Bobby Jackson.
I think they was better with Bibby than they was with Jason Williams. Because Bibby was more pro.
I do too, but and Bibby was more consistent. Yeah. Bibby was more reliable. Yeah. Them teams was good though. Yeah. Young Turkaloo, young G Wallace, you know what I'm saying?
Corliss Williamson.
Yes, sir. Boy, that boys had some.
Lawrence Funderburk.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Yeah.
But nah. I was thinking about that the other day about Dirk, man.
I go top 5 because I gotta go, Duncan and KG, and I gotta go Barkley and Malone.
Yeah.
I can get Dirk 5.
Even though you want to see where.
But it's crazy because I just called Moses Malone the most underrated power forward of all time. So that I don't know, bro. That's tough.
Because that's tough. I might have to throw Moses in the top 5, bro. Yeah. I got to.
So I gotta. I guess I gotta put Moses over Dirk, but
and then
that power forward is just so thick.
That power forward list is mean. And then in another 20 years, it's gonna get worse.
Yeah, that's tough.
Another 20 years, cause you ain't got no positions no more.
Yeah.
Is Joel Embiid a center? Or is a power forward? Is my man in Denver? Jokic. What is Jokic?
I don't know. They don't even use positions no more. To me, power forward don't even exist no more.
It don't. Hey, these boys just go out there and hoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I ain't mad. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, man.
But yeah, let's move on to Barkley and Malone, man. You know I got Chuck. I got Chuck all day, every day.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Cause I mean, it ain't what you go now. One of them ain't win. So when we start talking, and they both lost the mic. So I mean, but when that year, cause they both won MVP and lost the mic.
Yeah.
That same year.
And I'm gonna admit it's basically because I like Chuck more. It really ain't much different. You know what I mean? Chuck, I think, was a better rebounder, but really that's about it. Karl was a better shooter. 15-foot jump shots and all of that. I think Barkley was a better back to the basket player, but Karl was a better pick and roll player.
And both of them was held in the open floor. Barkley more with the ball, though.
Barkley with the ball, going coast to coast.
Barkley with the ball. Karl running the flow. I would go with Karl. Yes, sir. But with the ball, I think Chuck was a better passer, too.
Chuck was a better ball handler.
Ball handler, yeah, passer than Karl.
I don't know if it was so much he was a better ball handler or if he was, but if it was that once he get it off the glass, you better get the hell out of the way because he ain't finna try to even go around you at all. He just gonna take that foul and you better not stand in front of him again.
Look, the funny part about it is we could take a piece of all of them and then build Zion. Like, okay, now this
Yeah,
is
that's
you know,
it.
you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
You got to take them because, like I said, I told you once again, since the the best comparison was when you say LJ, but Zion he handled that thing so well. But I think LJ was a better scorer.
Yeah.
Than Zion. But yeah. I'm going with y'all.
All right. Well, let's move on. Let's go through these kind of quick. Reggie Miller, Ray Allen.
I love Reggie to death, but I gotta go with Ray because this is my thing. People don't respect that off the bounce Ray. See, they only think Ray just come off screens and you got Ray totally messed up if you think all Ray did was come off screens and catch a shoot. They had Ray running the one in Seattle at one point.
Yeah.
And they don't know about that Ray that Ray give you that one quick cross between the legs and go yam. They don't know about that Ray. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they forget.
They don't understand. For sure. Ray the total package. And then this the other part about Ray and Reggie that people misconstrue. They weren't just 3-point shooters. Their mid-range game was crazy.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with you here.
You going with Reggie?
I'm gonna go with Reggie, and the only reason I'm going with Reggie is because of the ability to have them 50, 40, 90 seasons. To be able to a pure shooter, Reggie couldn't really go off the dribble like that, and still be able to shoot 50% and 40% from three when you know what's coming, and be the primary focus on offense for his team as a shooter, as a pure shooter, being guarded by Jordan,
primary score,
being guarded by all of the top perimeter defenders in the game, and he's a shooter, and still being the number one option on the team that's in the playoffs and deep in the playoffs every year. I think I'm gonna go with Reggie, but I love.
And they went to the NBA Finals, and this is the thing about Reggie, and this is what I try to teach young guys too, like. How many times did he just bounce the ball? Right? Though he didn't always catch it and shoot it, he'll catch it, like, thread up, you know what I'm saying? Now, his length helped him, but still, like, he just went out there going crazy. And that's no disrespect because I know guys have to do what they have to do, and I like watching sometimes. Yeah. But Reggie was so, like, boom, like Klay Thompson. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you, but I probably go Ray. I love Reggie to death.
Yeah. You can't go wrong either way. But I don't even know why I'm bringing this up because I'm pretty sure I know where both of us gonna go. But Kobe and MJ. I don't know why I brought it up.
Well, why would you even do that?
I don't.
You know what I mean? I'm a fan of both, but you know what I mean. I gotta go with Mike, baby.
Yeah, let's just move on. Now this is a good one. CP3 and Steph.
And CP3, one of my favorite players, not just point guards, ever, right? Fell in love with him when I was in Carolina, and I used to watch all the weight games. And I was like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? He was a freshman. And see, you got to look at the totality of what this dude brings to the table, man. Like, he's such a leader, right? Like, he's so smart out there, too. Not saying Steph not any of these things, but I'm just talking about he like, I watched somebody was talking about Gary Payton and talking about how he controlled like 8 different things at one time. Like,
I saw that.
CP3, like, he just get it done, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he gonna, now his approach might not be to everybody liking or taste, but at the end of the day, he just trying to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think, of course, Steph shoot better than anybody I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
but I'm talking,
but no.
Yeah. But I'm talking about Chris Paul. He gonna make every read right, and the pass gonna be so on point to where you gonna feel bad if you don't score that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he is the point guard,
God.
right? Yeah, dog. Like, and then he don't. I mean, I'm speaking like, but he don't miss mid ranges.
Hardly ever, really.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm speaking figuratively, but
Yeah, I know what you mean.
bro, he get to that mid, and then just like if he need to go get 40, well, not. You know, at this point, I don't think he's trying to go get 40, but you get what I mean. Like a lot of them Hornets days and Clipper days, like if he got to get 40 and 13, he'll get 40 and 13. If he got to get 13 and 16, he'll do that. You know,
Yeah.
and defensively too. I don't think he get the credit that he deserved defensively.
Yeah, especially
So as far
bigger players.
Yeah. So as far as point guard wise, I would probably go give him the edge, but Steph Curry is just something. He's something different as far as scoring the basketball. He can pass the basketball too. Both of them can dribble the basketball. That ain't really but it's just. I think as far as just the and being, I think too, the era I come from, that traditional more point guard. Chris Paul was like a good mix of the two though, because if he needed to, he'll go get them buckets. He was like Steve Nash to a higher degree though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm gonna start out by saying Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time, hands down. But I'm going with CP3 simply because he can cover so many holes on your team.
Oh my gosh.
He can guard any player on the perimeter. He can take your best guy.
Right.
And in most situations, almost lock him up on defense.
Right.
On offense, he can give you whatever you need. If you need a three-point shooter, he can do that. If you need a facilitator, he can do that. If you need a scorer, he can do that. If you need somebody to direct your team, he can do that. Whatever he really don't have a weakness in his game at all. Like he does not have one hole. The only thing that you can say about him is his size, but he's such a dog defensively that don't even affect him. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I done seen him guard Kevin Durant on a couple possessions and absolutely lock him up. Not saying he can do it for the whole game because he can't, but on a couple crucial possessions, I've seen him take dudes like Durant and straight up lock them up.
Yeah.
So to me, and I honestly think Chris Paul is arguably the greatest point guard of all time. So
he is like right here, man. For one, he a basketball junkie. You know what I mean? So, and then he just, like you said though, what can he do? Yeah. He can shoot the ball. He definitely, we know he can pass the ball. You know what I mean? He can handle the ball. He can shoot the three. Left hand, right hand is phenomenal.
Yeah.
He not as quick as he once was, but you know, because then, like you say, he fills so many holes. I want to hop on that for just a second. Think about some of those Hornets teams that made the playoffs.
It's just him and David West.
Like they had Pager, you know, but like it was him and D West, bro.
Pager was a spot up shooter by that time.
Yeah, they beat, and then like that year they beat the Mavs, right? I watched him like literally just go at my guy, Jason Kidd, who like, because my favorite point guard was always Magic, right? And then Jason Kidd was it for me. And then CP3 came. And so them was like, you know what I mean, my three favorite point guard. And I remember watching them. And I remember it was like 08. I remember texting you like, man, he going at my boy head. You know what I mean? Like, that's what Scott coached them. And I was like, yo, he is going at, you know, because you know how much I love J Kidd. And he just, and his will to win. You know, I hate that trade didn't go down to with him going to LA, the Lakers, should I say. Instead of, he did go to LA, but you know, it would have been fun to watch and see what him and Cole could have got done. Two two maniacs out there. So yeah, man, I don't have no. And Steph, we know what Steph is. What he means to the
I mean,
game.
it ain't no knock on him.
Yeah, when it's all said and done, he gonna be, the record book gonna be crazy.
Yeah. But I guess I don't really look at Steph so much as a point guard. I just look at him he's a hooper. He's a scorer.
Yeah,
he's a
basketball
bucket getter.
player.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
It's hard to define him as a point guard. That's a good point because, if I want Chris on this team, I know what I want him to do. Yeah, I'm just gonna give him the keys. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I need you to. You know what I'm saying? And Steph, hey, look here, man. I might slide you to the whatever going down. If you need the ball to do whatever you need to do, yeah. If you don't,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, let's knock this last one out, man. Shaq versus Hakeem. Now, we know what Hakeem did to a young Shaq. But at the end of the day, I think Shaq should be higher on everybody's greatest of all time list.
Oh, I would definitely.
I think I put Shaq as the third greatest player of all time. Maybe even second.
Shaq.
You know what I'm going to do? That I'm going to put Shaq on my list as the second greatest player of all time. Simply because I always hear people say, and I never know what this means. People always say, he wasn't the best, but he was the most dominant. What does that mean? If you're dominating, then you're obviously better than everybody else. To me, I mean, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's true.
A prime Shaq getting you 28 and 15, basically. Unstoppable. Great pass.
And almost 3 blocks a game.
Right. And a really good passer out of the post.
Great pass out of the post.
Yeah.
Like a double team.
No knock on Hakeem, but I think I'm going Shaq. Because Hakeem was great. Now, don't get me wrong. And he murdered Shaq in Orlando in the finals. I ain't gonna lie, he gave him buckets.
But you know what? I'm gonna say to that. He murdered David Robinson, who was a better defender than Shaq. So yo.
And Dream started playing and he was 16.
Listen, one of my favorite highlights to this day is the joint when he faced David and he crossed him and he went basically. Yo, they came out. Oh man, listen. That's tough, man. Because it got to a point where it was like the dream didn't miss, bro.
Yeah. He was unguardable, man. That fadeaway.
Bro. And it was so smooth. And so
he's actually, as a center, he would cross other centers up. Like he would get the ball on the block, face up, cross.
Yeah, that play I'm talking about. He crossed
on Robinson, he crossed.
And have we ever seen a more athletic center than that? Than David Robinson?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially not running the floor. Nah,
you know what I'm saying? David Robinson was like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I that was tough for me, man, because I got so much respect for both of those guys, and I love, bro, you talk about a Shaq fan. Like, I was a huge Shaq fan, but the dream for me, like, when I, started to kind of understand basketball, you get what I'm saying? Like, I always was a fan, but, when I started, understand it was when he was, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm understanding, and that's the thing I think people forget with the dream is how great of a defender he was. A shot blocker.
Leading shot blocker of all time.
That's because what a lot of times was
a 6'10", so he wasn't He
wasn't 7 feet. So a lot of times we get lost with the Dreamers because he was such a great scorer. Because a lot of times you have one or the other. Like Mutombo wasn't gonna give you 25, but man, You're just gonna have a long night down there. You know what I mean? So, you had one of the other, like Zoe was pretty comparable, but he wasn't a great scorer, but he could score. I'm trying to think of some others besides, like Shaq was a dominant scorer. He blocked a lot of shots because he was big. Hakeem was a great shot blocker, though. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Tim Duncan wasn't the center, but he was just kind of the same with the Dream. David Robinson, So I think, a lot of times when you think the Dream, you don't think about the whole thing. The man had a quadruple double. They took it away, and then he came back and got it again.
I'm surprised you ain't mentioned your boy and Big Pat.
I love Pat, but nah, dog. You know what I mean? Pat was not one of the. Yeah, he was a great shot blocker. You know what I mean? Good, great score, but not like Dream, dog.
Dream to me is the single most skilled center in NBA history.
And his feet, bro. Man, he got running back feet, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know what I'm saying? That one tough for me because I'm a big Shaq fan, bro. I love Shaq. Like, I love Shaq, the basketball player, and everything that come with him. Like, I love to, you know what I mean? So, but you make some great points, man. Shaq was, but the Dream just, and it has really, for me, it don't even have nothing to do with him killing Shaq. Like,
nah, that was a young Shaq.
I ain't gonna hold Shaq against that. I ain't gonna hold Shaq, hold that against Shaq. I mean, Dream was, but then see, that's what I'm talking about too. Shaq was like, you know what? It's all good. You know something? I'm coming back, and then, boy, Shaq told the league up, boy. Yeah. Hey, listen, dog. That 3-peat, him and Kobe, and that's it. I love Mike and Scotty, but I think him and Kobe was the greatest duo I ever seen, bro.
Yeah, because it was an inside-out 1-2 punch.
And they was both.
Yeah. You couldn't double team really either one of them.
No,
because you was in trouble. And then when teams did it, they were in trouble. And then they surrounded them with shooters. You had Rick Fox, you had Robert Horry, you had Devin George, Brian Shaw, all of these dudes, Derek Fisher, all of these dudes were knockdown shooters. So when you double, you in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to. I'm gonna have to study on that one, man. That one. That's a hard one, dog, because they both.
Man, you got to pick, bro.
They both played against some of the greatest centers ever, too.
Yeah.
And dominated. I'm talking about they got buckets, they got rebounds, they block shots. Like I say, I came out a quadruple double. He had 10 steals.
Yeah, I'm going Shaq. I'm going Shaq, bro.
I don't know, dog. Hakeem was something serious, bro.
He was. But I'm going Shaq.
The touch, the jump hooks,
the
handle.
Shaq developed. He ended up developing that too, though. See, that young Shaq, he was basically catching lobs and running the flow. Orlando, but
when he got that
and getting putbacks. But when he
post game, right? Because you know what's crazy? His spin to the baseline, that little shot he had developed.
Yeah, he had a nice touch around the basket. That's what people forget about Shaq. It wasn't all just dunks. No. A lot of it was, but he had a nice jump hook. You know what I'm saying? He had a nice ability to like spin to the bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like Shaq had a nice game, man.
Yeah, Shaq could play, man.
Like I said, I be telling people that he was just big. It's been other big dudes who come through the NBA, man. It's been plenty of dudes bigger than Shaq. But why Brian Reeves ain't dominate like that?
But that's like you can say that. You can say if that's the case, or Mar Stoudemire was just big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why Brian Reeves? Why Stanley Roberts? Why what's the big dude played in Seattle? James Johnson, big dude from played with Seattle.
Dark skinned cat.
Jerome James. Yeah.
Jerome James, yeah.
Why he didn't dominate? You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it's like you said.
Ike Austin ain't dominate the same way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's been plenty of dudes that came through this huge. You know what I'm saying? Why Vita Sabonis ain't dominate the way Shaq did? I mean, true, he didn't come to the league in his prime, but still.
Nah, I get what you mean. Like
Rick Smith ain't dominate like that.
Kwame Brown.
There's been plenty of 7 foot, 300-pound dudes that came to the NBA that didn't dominate the same way Shaq did.
Stop trying to sway me to Shaq.
I'm just saying, and especially Stanley Roberts is the one I always bring up, because he actually played with Shaq for one. For two, he was just as big.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go with man. Now watch, if I say Shaq, I'm gonna see Hakeem highlights like all night long. They're gonna show like the back-to-back championship on the NBA TV or something. I'm gonna go Shaq though. Yeah, I'm gonna go Shaq, bro.
Yeah. I think you made the right choice.
Like this guy.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna go with Shaq. I'm gonna go. Cause another thing that's impressive with Shaq too is to be top, top 5 in scoring and miss that many free throws as well. Like that's to let you know right there. Like he got busy.
Yeah, for sure. But that's it for me, man. You got anything else you want to discuss?
No, man. I'm good, man. I'm good.
We'll go ahead and close this out then.
All right, y'all. That was another episode of Relax and Take Notes. Mike Pace, K-Dub. Everybody stay safe. Prayers up for everybody that's, in tough situations with this COVID thing, man. And, please stay home, practice your social distancing. And, we're going to get through this thing. It's just, something we got to deal with. Hope it make some positive changes in our life. Because everybody, we can always do something positive to change. Ain't none of us perfect. So we can, I don't know what it is. Pick up a new habit. Love your wife more, love your husband more, love your kids. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Man, some fences, whatever it is. But y'all stay safe out there. And we'll be back at y'all with some more hot sports takes. Till then, peace out.
Peace out.